I thought it was all over.
And I want to get on here and just talk about this ridiculous story about Eric Bieniemy and that he's too intense. We'll get to that. But it's basically an anonymous player came out and said that he was a little bit too intense, and then Ron Rivera had to come out and make a statement about it, which he has now walked back, saying that he's not conveying the message, and then he quote-unquote put his foot in his mouth. So, no, I'm not going to enable this kind of behavior. This is the NFL. Like, not for long, no fun league, whatever you want to call it. It's a tough league. And if you're mad that a guy that was trained by the old Bears coach, Ditka, like, so you don't love the essence of football is what you're telling me. You're telling me that it's too hard, and you're like, oh, man, I just want somebody to just, like, push me a little bit. Not a whole lot. I want to do it on my terms. Like, that's not how you win Super Bowls. Like, everyone's out here pretending like Eric Bieniemy needs to prove himself. Eric Bieniemy's proved himself plenty of times. Eric Bieniemy is the coach that I think the Detroit Lions feel like they have in their head, whereas Dan Campbell's a little bit more reserved than that. Eric Bieniemy is the step up from Dan Campbell, and I know that's obviously an odd comparison, but I mean in the intensity that they're showing in their performance. To be honest, they're not even the same coach. I mean, Bieniemy's a very, very, very successful coordinator, and that's going to translate to being a head coach. And one of the things I do want to touch on is with Bieniemy is the commentary from McAfee. McAfee's talking about it just not being a normal thing, and maybe he's pushing people too hard and all that. And it's like people keep talking about the NFL's going soft and everything. This is the NFL going soft. Like, if Eric Bieniemy is essentially being not allowed to be a head coach at this point because he's too intense, and obviously I'm not saying that right now, but is this going to hinder him in the future? 100%. Everything that man's done has been successful. Bieniemy is the coordinator that every team wants. How many people were trying to make him a head coach in the offseason? But he decided to become the assistant of the Commanders. Why? Because he wants to put his footprint, his thumbprint, whatever you want to call it. He wants to put that on the organization through toughness, through success. And if the Commanders come out here and have a top 10 defense, you know why that's going to happen? Because Eric Bieniemy's offense was rushing down their throat, was crushing them the whole year, and they had to get better. They had to meet the expectation. And I think that player or whoever came out and brought this up, like, if that's the case, you're on the wrong team then. You should go play for like a nice, relaxing coach. What coaches that we don't think about as too intense, like Bill Belichick. So it's okay for Bill to do it. It's okay for Bill to be intense. It's okay for Bill to do all of this stuff, but it's not okay for Eric Bieniemy. What about Bobby Knight? Everybody's happy when he does his shenanigans, flies off the handle and everything. He's got documentaries about him. Not going to get that for Eric Bieniemy. What about John Gruden? Did John Gruden just recently have some issues with intensity in the what was it, racist area? So don't give me this Eric Bieniemy is too intense. Don't give me this, he needs to calm it down. He needs to be more player friendly. It's working. What he has accomplished in his coaching career so far is working. I think that the Commanders just have some, frankly, soft people that can't handle the intensity. And if you can't handle the intensity, it needs to be spoken about, and they need to get on out of there. Like, they need people that want to win, not people that want to be nice to everybody every day. The Commanders are building possibly a new brand, possibly getting a new name, all of that stuff. Why wouldn't you want your brand built on intensity, on winning? This makes no sense to me. So to anybody out there saying Bieniemy is, wrong for this or needs to calm, no. the NFL is a tough league, and if you can't handle it, it will just get rid of you. We see that with players all the time. This player needs to step up, or it needs to get shipped out.